What's up guys, Bloodshed here. Today we're going to cover the T1 Tier 1 Abyssal Dungeons here in Lost Ark. If you're like me, you're sick of wiping to these silly one-shot mechanics, so my community asked me to make a video over the TLDR version. Again, we're going to cover the main mechanics that's causing wipes for everybody. We're not going to get into every single boss mechanic. You're going to have to learn for yourself, you know, take that little residual damage as you learn and explore the game. This is T1, so we're going to cover Ancient Elveria, Demon Beast Cannon, Necromancers Origin, Phantom Palace, Hall of the Twisted Warlord, and Hildebrandt Palace. These 4 dungeons here, at least 8 total bosses, so let's go ahead and get into it. First off, we have Demon Beast Canyon. Actually, first off, can we get a like on the video? Hey, I'd appreciate it, okay? These videos take time. I'll also put a graphic on the website with the TLDR version if you just want a quick refresher course. Okay, right away in the fight, you'll notice one of 4 random party members will get a blue target over their head. That means the boss is going to throw a nuke on your location, so you want to get away from everybody. You can see me going to the very back corner of the group, and then you can see the AoE coming in. Now, these will pile up if you have low DPS or whatever. There's going to be lots of these blood pools everywhere, and they stack and do a lot of damage. So to clear them, you have to stagger the boss. So use stagger bombs, read your skills, use skills that have high stagger on them. And once you stagger the boss, it clears all the pools. I'll show that here in the video. You can see the bomb actually never triggers because my group stunned him, staggered him, right? And then everything's clear and we get a fresh new map to work with. It's great. And that's pretty much it. You know, there is a moment where he does a big belly flop and you have to juke it and then immediately juke on the inside. But all these little details are gonna come with time, right? The main thing you gotta worry about is target, get away, and stagger to clear the pools. And that pretty much wraps up the first boss. He's the first boss in the whole game for Abyssal Dungeons, right? You guys can do this, okay? Bring potions, always bring potions, those percentage-based potions to every Abyssal Dungeon. Don't be the guy that doesn't craft. For the second boss of this dungeon, he's one of the easiest in the game in my opinion. I've never even seen his mechanic, okay? So if everybody just avoids normal AoEs and stuff like that, you should be able to just DPS him down. We got 4 Sorcs in the group here. Everyone has low Chaos Dungeon gear. This is like when the week just started, right? Everybody has low eye level, just the minimum pretty much. And we're spanking him, right? You don't even get to the next phase. But if you are to get to the next phase, okay, let me explain it and draw it up for you guys. At a certain point in the fight, if it goes on too long, he spawns like these orbs along the map. They spawn like counterclockwise. So the team would literally just run to the orb, like all your team members go to the orb like this. And the boss fight ports to somebody. Rawr. He does like an AoE and he actually breaks the orb. And then he takes damage from that, right? So then everybody, again, would then go to the next orb and the next orb and the next orb. But I legit have never even seen this because in Russia and in North America with ghetto gear, we've been just destroying him. So you should be able to tank and spank this guy, okay? But I didn't want to leave you guys empty-handed, so I had to consult one of my Lost Ark veterans about how that fight actually goes. So for the next dungeon, we have Necromancers Origin here. The first mechanic of this dragon boss is really easy. As the fight progresses, people get these orb stacks above their head. You see I have 2 orb stacks here. The person with the highest orb stacks, so I have 3 right now, you can see, wants to grab the yellow orb. Now, you can see on the mini map, I'm probably gonna run toward it because I need to clear it because I'm at 3. And then you just click on the yellow orb. I had the highest stacks and boom, it's cleared, okay? If you get to 5 stacks, you die. So you wanna make sure you clear that as soon as possible. And that's literally it. Everything else is just avoid red circles, forehead, and you should be good to go from here. I guess it does take a little wherewithal to see what your teammates have so you don't click on the wrong things, right? The second boss in Necromancer's Origin, again, is about orbs, okay? So he does 2 giant AoEs. He does a big red AoE or a big white AoE. And players need to go to different corners of the map and grab the globe that matches his AoE color. So red AoE, white AoE, there's red globes and white globes. You can see right here on the map, there's a big red aura and I'm clicking the red globe and hopefully everybody else is clicking the red globe. You might wanna check and make sure. So he's running over there clicking the red globe. So everybody's good, we're cleared and we're good to go. This is a wipe mechanic if you don't clear the orbs. So make sure you get out there. And again, red and white, that's it. New England clam chowder, the red or the white. You've just successfully cleared Ancient Elvaria. Hey, pat yourself on the back, it's about to get tougher. The next one we have is Phantom Palace, Hall of the Twisted Warlord. This boss fight is kind of a doozy, so I'm gonna do some more drawing again, okay? So you have little boss here. I'm the little boss. And then you have big boss here. Right? You need to kill these two together, otherwise one enrages and goes apeshit on you, okay? That's number one. Number two, you have 4 party members. 3 of those party members are going to have blue auras around their character. Now, don't cross auras, stay away from each other, and fan out, okay? You also want to break any pillars that spawn here. But the person with no aura needs to run and break LOS of the big boss. So you take your little bunny ass behind the small boss to break LOS of the big boss here, because the big boss casts a big beam at you, but he'll actually hit his little friend here. So that's basically how you clear this fight, okay? You get a blue aura, you stay away from each other, run back, and you also clear these pillars that spawn. There's like little pillars that spawn. That way that this beam actually doesn't hit the pillar, right? And it actually hits the person. If you don't get the aura, run behind the boss. Now the boss runs around in circles, so you have to keep track of him. If you lose track of him, you can watch the mini map up here in the corner. I guess the mini map is right there. To kind of see where he is, and then, you know, position yourself behind the boss. It's okay to get a little bit close to the boss, like if you want to get, you know, within a few meters here. And that's basically it, right? It's just about the person that doesn't have the aura, break LOS. People are going to be watching this one a lot. There's going to be some wipes. I can see it now, chat. Yeah, I'm hiding behind the boss right here. Yeah. The second boss of Hall of the Twisted Warrior is known as Warlord, is known as the Sword Boss, okay? This boy spawns 4 swords here, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you know what? We got 4 players, right? So 1. Again, it's good to spread out on different corners of the map. Some people use the clock system, so it would be like 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, or whatever, right? So people spread out that way. I noticed they communicate. As soon as this mechanic happens, person 1 grabs the sword, and then there's a big flash and a buff on the left side of the screen over here in this corner. There'll be like a buff icon on each player, whatever. You'll probably see it when I grab it in the video. You have to wait for the buff to fall off, okay? And then person 2 grabs it. Waits for the buff to fall off, person 3 grabs it, waits for the buff to fall off, person 4 grabs it. Now this should never really happen, because the first and second person, whatever you decide the order, should be staggering the boss. So let's say first person grabs the sword, he's basically clear. He can't touch other swords, right? He's clear. He needs to drop a stagger nade on this Folio right here, bam. And he needs to use high stagger skills, bam, bam, right? If he doesn't get the boss to get staggered, hopefully the second person, after he grabs the sword, bam, bam, can stop it. And then 3 and 4, the lazy fucks, right? They don't have to do anything, basically. They're good there, woohoo, they're scot-free. So again, he spawns 4 swords. Person 1, grab the sword, use stagger mechanics. You need to learn about stagger in this game, right? Stagger skills, stagger bombs. Your ultimate typically has a lot of stagger to it, especially that sorceress ultimate. And then the second person who grabs the sword, wait for the buff to fall off. Remember, wait for this to fall off, and then grab the sword, and then start stagger, 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 and then that's pretty much it. And then the fight's over, right? It's just about getting people to coordinate. You know, I like to move clockwise and have everybody spread out, and just getting everybody on the same page is really the hard part of the fight. You'll know the mechanic's about to begin because there'll be like this red text pop up on screen. You'll see this NPC. I want to actually show you the whole thing instead of just drawing it, because I feel like this could be, you know, a problem, right? So you see it on screen, it says Azena is like, oh no, what's gonna happen, right? So we're kind of all getting in position here, standing around. There's a sword, somebody grabbed it, and then I grabbed it. We're taking turns, and I threw a stagger bomb, we're staggering the boss, and boom. I was second in this example. You'll see the buff on the left side of the screen here. So let's run it back one more time. Again, I just want to spend a little bit of extra time on this boss. You DPS, DPS, DPS. This thing comes up on screen that says blah, blah, blah. You know, I'll get you, my precious. I'm number 2, so the first person grabbed it. I'm waiting for this buff to fall off. It fell off. I grab it, boom, and I start staggering. Here's a grenade, and here's a spell, and boom, GG's, right? That's all you have to do. You'll need to do 2 cycles of that, and you should have enough DPS to clear it. And you completed Hall of the Twisted Warlord. Up next we have Hildebrandt Palace. Now this one's arguably the hardest one, but it's also the final dungeon in tier 1. You might have done this in the story. So you're gonna get these colored statues that spawn behind this damage wave. You click on the corresponding statue, which I'll show you in the video. So you can see this purple beam right here. It can spawn here, it can spawn on the sides, it can spawn on the top. There's a purple bar spawning right here, and it's letting you know it's gonna spawn. So you have to pick one of this color or this color on this side to teleport behind the wave. Don't ever pick the purple. Purple bad, purple will kill you instantly. Purple teleports you to the purple wave actually, right? So I'm looking at the colors, I see that there was blue, let's run it back here. So we're DPSing, we're waiting for the waves to spawn here, we're just kind of biding our time. Again, these are all just like avoid this thing mechanic, avoid that thing mechanic. It's not too complicated here as I get hit by a mechanic. You can see there's a pop-up on screen like, oh shit, something's gonna happen. There's a purple wave, I notice there's a blue mirror here, so I'm gonna run over here to the blue mirror. You can teleport whenever you want, there's no rush. I have to do it at the last second because I'm sweaty, but don't ever pick the purple, remember that. There's another wave coming, you can see the yellow here, I grab the yellow, and then, boop, I transfer to the yellow safely behind the wave. We already lost somebody, so you know how that goes in pugs. But that's basically the trick to the fight. Later on, there's more waves that you have to stand in between the wave, but it's kind of self-explanatory. Like the waves look like this where there's breaks in it that you have to walk through, but again, like this is just obvious. You would walk through there, you wouldn't just hopefully it goes without saying, and that's basically this phase of the fight. There's like 4 phases to the fight, so that's like phase 1. Phase 2 is like this crazy Fall Guys mini game thing where she's just dropping balls on you left and right. One person's gonna get a red circle around their character, and you might see it pop up on one of my party members here. One person's gonna get a red circle around their person, and then they have to go to the boss, and then there'll be a big nuke, kind of like the other fight. You can see I have it right there. I tried to stand on it, and you saw the nuke, and I missed it because I got CC'd. So it's not easy, right? There's stuff flying, you're getting damage from all kinds of sides. But if you get the red circle in this phase, go to the boss like I'm tried to do again, and then here comes the meteor that missed again. That's basically what you want to do here, right? This can be frustrating, but this is the hella easy phase compared to the other one. So this is phase 2. It's the Fall Guys phase. Just survive, you'll be okay. This is like the freebie almost, right? This is like the easy kind of tank and spank phase to get through. Even though we did so horrible, you can see we got through it, no problem. Okay, so phase 2 is a stagger check phase. There's this giant's foot or hand that comes down on the boss we're fighting, right? And she's trying to protect herself with this barrier. So when this happens, there's only a small window to crack this barrier. So all 4 of our heroes need to use their stagger abilities, use the stagger grenades, use their awakening ability to break it. Okay, this happens twice. You break it twice and you're good to go. This phase 3 is complete. Now, okay, if you're carrying a group and they're trash or they don't have grenades or they don't know their stagger abilities and you're doing most of the damage by yourself, or 2 of you are trying to carry as much as you can run to the corner 9 times out of 10 and be safe for the first phase, for the first giant's foot, right? There's 2 giant's feet like we talked about, okay? This happens once and twice, just like other mechanics, like the sword mechanic and so forth. So the first foot, everybody can run away to the corner of the map. You can tell by the like the area. I'll showcase it here. And then phase 2, you have to break it. So everybody can save their alts, everybody can save everything for phase 2. And then for phase 2, you do have to break it. Okay, we confirm tested it. I do say 9 times out of 10 because sometimes the positioning, what's about to happen, is such where you still get hit. So there's the big monster claw came down. We went to the bottom corner of the map. You can tell by the mini map up here, we're well out of range in the top right corner of the explosion, and then boom, we're safe, right? Sometimes it spawns in the middle and it hits you, but typically it's on the sides and you don't have to worry about it. Here comes the phase again. This time we're going to DPS everything. So I'm throwing my bomb, boom. I'm using my big lightning, my ultimate, and then I'm following up with, and then we broke it. We broke her shield, and then she got hit by the boss, got stunned, and now we can DPS her down, right? So an experienced group can break the shield both times, no problem. But again, you know, if everybody's not on the same page, you could just run away for the first phase and break the second one. Just blow all your awakenings on the second one there. And that's it. That's phase 3. Now we're going to go on to phase 4 here. Okay, so phase 4, everybody gets a torch. And it's like a little beam. You'll see it on the video, right? And all you do is point your little torch to the person. Now, one person might not get a torch. Let me erase this, okay? One person actually gets a little circle torch thing. So you have to face the opposite direction, and it's like a little circle around the person. And I'll showcase it in the video. I actually got it on the clip, right? So the person that you need to hit has a red X through it. It's really noticeable. If you have the red X, you're the person that needs to get shot by everybody else. I won't say that joke. Stand still, for the love of God. It's hard enough to position ourselves. You also can't be too close. You have to be within like a certain radius away. So it's hard enough for everybody else to position. You only have like maybe a 7-second window, 10-second window, something like that. So if you have the red X, just take your hands off the keyboard, let everybody else position no matter where. Don't try to get in the middle or anything. You know, just stand still. Don't touch anything. If you have the red X, what do? Stand still. 2 people will have a normal torch. They'll burn you up. One person's gonna have this weird circle radius thing that they need to target you with. So you walk toward the person, then you turn around, and then you'll see the circle on the torch person, right? Hold until you see the meteor about to fall, right? If you move, you'll mess up everything and you guys will wipe. So I'll show you what it looks like. This is more like a mechanical one. So, okay, you can see the torches on the screen. Let me pause it. You can see we're all moving awkwardly to try to do it. There's the red X, that's the person we gotta shoot. We're getting ready, and then boom, boom, boom. So all 3 of us are shooting this person. Here comes the meteor, now we leave, right? You have to wait till you see the meteor. There's plenty of time to get out. Wait till you see the meteor and get out. I'll show you one more example here. Here we go, mechanics up. I got the weird circle thing. You can see me in the middle of the screen. I go to them, I walk away, the circle, everybody's hitting. Hit the red X, nobody move, wait until you see the meteor, wait, and then leave. And then boom, you successfully completed the dungeon. Now it's just a tank and spank. It happens 2 times and you're good to go from there. I'll showcase it one more time. People get beams, people with the X stand still. So I think it's maybe on the second phase you get the circle. I thought it was random, but it looks like maybe only on phase 2 you get the circle, so it's there to throw you off, to learn something new, right? This was the hardest one because I think the mechanical ability to get everybody to move. But again, what helped me was moving with tiny steps on the mouse, like just barely click around your character. Don't click big chunks away because then you move all funny, right? You can see I'm just barely clicking, click. And then position the circle around the person. Other people are shooting them, and then that's it, right? So just learning how to control your character, I think, is maybe the hardest part. This actually seems like the easiest mechanic in the world, but this was the hardest one to clear out of all the mechanics today, even more than the sword mechanic, okay? So, damn. And that's it. You're a badass. You cleared all the dungeons in T1. Hildebrandt Palace is dead. You get jewelry here with class engraving, so it's really good to mix and match your build. It opens up new possibilities. You can get gear sets, all kinds of stuff. Don't forget to like the video if it helped you out. It took an extremely long time to get all the footage together and all the explanations dialed in. Again, if you want in-depth versions of everything, feel free to watch other videos. I just wanted to make something quick and heavily edited for my community, and I'm gonna try to make a graphic, a cheat sheet, so you guys can remember when you're running your weeklies, and then I'll try to get a tier 2 version down if you guys like this style. This is Bloodshed, and I'm out of here. Peace.